Well, today we are taking up fire insurance. Fire insurance, commercial policies. So say, fire insurance is one category which is most popular among the non-life or non-motor insurance businesses. Why? Because this is required to cover every kind of risk related to the commercial activities. Fire insurance became popular when a great fire occurred in London on Sunday, 2nd September, Wednesday, and it continued till 5th September 1666. In this fire tragedy, 13,200 houses were gutted, 87 churches were lost. Most of the city authority buildings were damaged, and it destroyed the houses of 70,000 out of 80,000 of the city's inhabitants. So this was such a great tragedy which gutted the medieval city of London inside the old Roman city wall. And then the people realized about the fire insurance. Since then, fire insurance continues. Now, as far as the fire insurance category is concerned, all the basic principles of general insurance are applicable to the fire insurance. If you want to know the basic principles by name, you can understand that the principle of insurance, principle of utmost good faith, principle of proximate cause, and the principle of indemnity. Simultaneously, both the corollaries of the indemnity, that is known as subrogation and contribution, are also applicable to the fire insurance. Means in terms of basic principles, all the basic principles are applicable to the fire insurance category, both at the time of the taking policy as well as at the time of taking the claims. So as far as the subject matter of the fire insurance is concerned, building, plant and machinery, equipment, technical accessories, furnitures and electrical fittings, goods as in raw materials, semi-finished and finished goods, pipelines present inside as well as outside in the building. My voice is clearly audible to all of you? Anybody can confirm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Presentation is also visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, continue. So this is the subject matter of the insurance. Now basically, this is the common sense question, how fire insurance works. So the property owner, whoever it is, maybe for the residential purpose or commercial purposes, who has the individual or has the businesses, owns building or machinery or merchandise or furniture or other personal businesses. If at all there is any accident or fire, not only fire, in addition to the fire, there are 13 other perils. If any of that peril strikes and causes the loss or damage, then the fire policy comes into the picture and to compensate the insured and to bring him in the same financial position which he was occupying immediately before the loss. That is what the insurance says. So when IRD introduced 3 new fire insurance policies on 1st April 2021, one of them was for residential houses, that you can say dwelling insurance also, and 2 of them relates to the commercial insurance. But considering the available circumstances of the market, IRDA revised the policies altogether. As IRDA made the changes in the coverage, sum insured, inbuilt additional coverage, innovative coverage, and a little difference was there between these two commercial policies, which are known as the Bharat Sukshma Udyam Suraksha and Bharat Laghu Udyam Suraksha. You know, this name of the policy across India is Bharat Sukshma Udyam Suraksha and Bharat Laghu Udyam Suraksha. Since these are the names decided by the IRDA, no company can change these names. Maybe it is Northern India or Southern India, or Eastern India or Western India. But the IRDA gave the right to use the name of the company in short as prefix. So companies are using as Shri Bharat Suraksha, Sukshma Udyam Suraksha, or Bajaj Bharat Sukshma Udyam Suraksha, or Tata Bharat Sukshma Udyam Suraksha, like that. So the name of the company in short can be used before the name of the policy just to identify the policies issued by which company. That will identify. Otherwise, the name of the policy will remain as it is throughout India with all the general insurance companies of India. Same, Bharat Sukshma Udyam Suraksha and Bharat Laghu Udyam Suraksha. So now the question comes, what is fire insurance? Because this is a common misconception among all the insurers that is it connected or any disconnection is there? Okay.
Connected, sir.
Okay, good. Good. So, this is a common misconception among the buyers or the customers or the policyholders that fire policy covers the fire risk only, while this is not so. Fire is one risk in the policy which is covered as a peril. Fire means the production of light and heat by combustion of burning. There is said to be a fire within the meaning of fire insurance when there are three things. There is actual ignition, fire is purely accidental or fortuitous, and there must be something on fire which ought not to be on fire. So under these circumstances, if there is any loss due to this peril, then it is known that the loss is caused by the fire peril or fire insurance. But in broad sense, if you see, fire is a self-sustaining process of rapid oxidation of a fuel, which produces heat and light. So basically, three things are required for fire: fuel, any combustible material, oxygen, and then temperature. If these three things are combined, there is said to be fire. As far as fuel is concerned, fuel includes anything or everything. Solids, liquids, vapors, gases, they are all fuel for the purpose of fire. Solid means wood, fabric, synthetic materials, packing materials, papers. They can catch the fire easily. Liquid means flammable liquids like nitrophenol, ammonium nitrate, potassium chlorate. They can catch the fire. That means everything is covered due to fire. Our following damages are also considered to be covered under fire. What these are? smoke damage caused by fire, water damage in extinguishing the fire, property demolished by fire brigade to prevent fire from spreading, damage done by firemen in executing their duties, losses incurred by insured in attempting to check the progress of fire or to save the property, and damage to property during removal from burning building, damage due to falling of walls as a result of fire. They are also covered in the fire policy. Now, who can take the fire policy? Any person, firm, organization, institution who may suffer financial losses in the event of operation of such insurable perils may insure its property. Say, for example, owner of building, shopkeeper, educational or research institutions, hotels, hospitals, clinics, industrial and manufacturing base, godown keepers, bailey, lesser, lessee, bank, financial institutions, traders in stocks, trustees, charitable institutions, transporters and C&F agents, because they are also having the property. So any property, building, machinery, stock can be covered under the fire policy. Now, there are classifications into various classes according to the factors affecting fire risk. When we are giving a fire policy to anyone, you have to see lot many things. Say, for example, construction of structure, occupancy, nature of flooring, height, floor and wall opening, exposure, lighting, heating and power, place of situation, protection, or if the policy is already continuing, time of loss, if at all there was any loss. These are the things to be considered before giving any fire policy to any customer. But in practice, it is not possible all the time to see the insured property physically every time. So the policies are issued. But these details must be obtained in the proposal form to take the decision. Because basically the premium rating as well as the decision of accepting or rejecting the cover depends upon these things. Occupancy means what kind of business it is. It may be a hospital, a factory, a restaurant. What kind of occupancy it is? So premium rate will apply according to that occupancy. So these are all important aspects. Now the question is, when the IRDA revised the fire policy, there was some objection. They felt that the previous policy, that is standard fire and special peril policy, is very complex in nature. It doesn't provide the complete coverage. There is misselling of this policy. There is no clarity of coverage. And above all, there was no standard method of deciding the sum insured. How it is? Because lot many values were prevailing in the market. Purchase value, sale value, depreciated value, market value, book value, reinstatement value. On which value the property has to be insured. So even the insurers were not having the clarity over it. Now the IRDA has decided that all the properties have to be insured on the reinstatement value. So something has been finalized, decided or standardized, you can say. Now when IRDA denotified the standard fire and special peril policy or tariff, then these policies were issued. And these two policies will cover the risk up to 50 crores. It means that standard fire and special peril policy is still not discontinued. That is still there. The only difference is that policy will be issued over and above the sum insured of 50 crores. And there is no change in that policy. All changes are made in these two policies. They are named as Bharat Sukshma Udyam Suraksha and Bharat Laghu Udyam Suraksha. Their terms, conditions, access clauses, warranties, endorsement, wordings, everything has been changed. But that policy will remain as it is. For these two policies, even the add-on covers are allowed, that the insurance company can file their new add-on covers. All previous add-on covers have been merged into the basic or inbuilt coverage of the policy. And these were introduced on 1st April 2021. So today, for any new proposal, for any renewal proposal or any market rollover proposal, if the sum insured is up to 50 crore, either of these two policies will be sold. Now to decide that there are some package policies. In those package policies also the fire section is there. Package policy is introduced by every general insurance company because this is the demand of the customers of the various segments, that they don't want to take multiple policies for every requirement. They want their all the rest should be covered under one policy. So insurers are providing one package policy or umbrella policy which will include all risk related to those segments or those verticals. So all the general insurance companies are selling these package policies because these are comfortable as per the requirements of the customers. There are various segments or the verticals in the commercial section. For example, shopkeepers are there, hotel and restaurants are there, educational institutions are there, offices are there, businesses are there, factories, industries are there. So their needs are also different according to their nature of business. But they have no time to buy 10, 12, 15 policies. Everybody wants lesser paperwork. So the general insurance companies are coming out with the package policies having 12 section, 15 section and 18 section like that. Customer has the flexibility to choose the selections as per their choices. Insurance companies are making two things compulsory. Section 1 is mandatory, that is fire insurance. And minimum 2 or 3 sections are required. So these two conditions are always there in a package policy. But when we say section 1 is mandatory, that is fire insurance. Now the question comes, that section 1 will include which fire policy? Is it Sukshma Udyam, is it Laghu Udyam, is it standard fire and special peril policy, is it Bharat Raksha policy? What is that? So it all depends upon the sum insured and the nature of work or nature of occupancy. If it is a commercial risk, sum insured is say 6 crore. So which policy is applicable for the sum insured of applicable? Sum insured of 6 crore, that will automatically convert into that policy. Means the software of the insurance company will automatically convert the policy into the respective category according to sum insured. Say for example, this is the limit. Sukshma Udyam, maximum sum insured 5 crore. Laghu Udyam, it starts over 5 crore, 250 crore. Then standard fire and special peril policy, that is SFSP, over 50 crore. And sum insured is based on value of risk at one location. So there is no confusion at all. You only have to take the detail in the proposal form. When the detailed proposal form is filled into the software, that will automatically convert which policy is applicable here. any kind of occupancy could be there. For example, non-industrial is there, which are not providing any turnover, output, or manufacturing item. They are only rendering these services, like hotels, offices, shops, hospitals, or any type of manufacturing is there, where the turnover is there, output is there. Say for example, shoe manufacturing factory is there, cloth manufacturing factory is there, cement manufacturing factory is there. So they all are manufacturing the product. There is turnover, there is output. All types of storage and including storage, open, closed, or transporters go down. They are also insured under the fire policy. And all type of utilities and tanks. So these are all occupancies which are covered under the fire policy. Fire policy may be Sukshma Udyam, Laghu Udyam, or Standard Fire and Special Peril Policy, because these are all commercial risks. So either of these three policies will apply here according to the sum insured limit. Now a lot of changes were made in these two policies, and out of that selected are listed here. Say for example, number of perils were increased to 14 from 12. Deletion of peril not allowed. Sum insured will decide which policy will come into the force. Compulsory access is decided as per the policy. SPSU has made 5,000 rupees each claim. SPLU has 5% of each claim subject to minimum 10,000. In case of terrorism, the compulsory access would be different as decided by the terrorism pool. Minimum premium of SPSU is 500 plus GST. Minimum premium of SPLU is 1,000 plus GST. When we call it SBSU or SBLU, it does means that the policy is issued by Shri Ram. And the word used is Shri Bharat Sukshma Udyam Suraksha. Shri Bharat Laghu Udyam Suraksha. Otherwise, the name of the policy is BSU, Bharat Sukshma Udyam Suraksha. Or you can say BSUS. Not only that, certain definitions were also changed by the IRDA. Because the definition of fire was very limited. Mr. Shashi has raised the hand. Any questions? Shashi, any doubts, or this is by mistake? Do you want to ask anything? Shashi has raised the hand. Any doubts? Who is Mr. Shashi? Unmute yourself. No. Sometimes by mistake also it happens. Okay. So fire definition has been expanded now, because the fire means flame. But now it is including own fermentation, natural heating, or spontaneous combustion also. These three perils were the add-on covers earlier. They are still add-on covers in the Standard Fire and Special Peril Policy. They are available only on payment of additional premium. But now in these two policies, they are included in the definition of fire. So no additional premium has to be paid. Secondly, the definition of bush fire has been changed, because in the bush fire, forest fire and jungle fire is automatically covered, which are covered on payment of additional premium in the SFSP policy. Thirdly, the definition of impact damage is changed. Here the aircraft damage has been included as a peril which was separate in the SFSP policy, but now it is part of the impact damage in these two policies. Three new perils were included, that is earthquake, terrorism and theft. In fact, they were not new. They were the add-on covers, and they are the add-on covers with SFSP policy still. But here in these policies, they are merged. Number of perils are increased as 14. Earthquake, terror both are included. In addition, theft is also included, but with a limited sense, because theft is covered from day 1 to day 7, provided it is followed by any other peril. That means excluded theft is not covered, only theft is not covered if it is caused after the fire or flood or earthquake or cyclone or any other insured peril, then it is covered. But now insured has no right to opt out any perils out of 14. Because in SFSP policy, insured can opt out RSMD and STFI set of perils. Here in these two policies, either at the request of insured or by the insurance company, no peril can be deleted from the date of issuance of the policy till the date of expiry of the policy. All the 14 perils will continue as it is. Because most of the losses are covered under the fire policy by the RSMD and STFI. They are not the one peril, they are one set of perils. In set of peril, there could be multiple risks. For example, in the RSMD, that RSMD stands for rights, strikes and malicious damage. That means 3 different risks are there in one set of peril. Say for example, STFI. STFI stands for storm, tempest, flood and inundation, but it also includes cyclone, tornado, means perils related to the natural calamities. Hurricane, cyclone, tornado, they are also covered because they are a set of God perils. So STFI is a big set of perils. IRD observed that due to these exclusions, there is a mis-selling of the policy because the insured is given a small discount on the premium rate, but these important 2 set of perils are deleted, and mostly the loss is caused by these perils, so his loss is rejected. If the loss is caused by RSMD or STFI, and those perils are already opted out, that means insurance company will decline the claim. So this is a mis-selling. Our customer doesn't understand what is RSMD and STFI. So IRDA banned it. No peril can be deleted. All 14 perils will continue till the expiry date. In addition, there are certain other perils which we are including in these policies without any extra premium. There are certain risks which are already covered, but their limits are very old. So IRDA increased those limits also. Say for example, architect, surveyor and consulting engineer fee, which are covered up to 3% of the claim amount, has been raised to 5% of the claim amount. Removal of debris, which was covered for 1% of the claim amount, has been increased to 2% of the claim amount. Certain other add-ons, which are still there with the SFSP policy, which are available on additional premium in the SFSP policy, they are available free here because they are part of the basic risk. And these are additional alterations or extensions, temporary removal of stock, cover for specific contents, start-up expenses, cost compared by municipal regulations, stock on floater basis, preloaded software, stock and interest. These all perils are included in the inbuilt coverage of the policy without any additional premium. So this is the benefit given to the policyholders to make this policy popularized among the customers. This is the benefit or this is the change made by the IRDA to favor policyholders, customers. They should not pay the unwanted excess premium. Insurance companies should not charge unwanted premium. If they are providing these coverage, then the policy will be set to be as complete coverage, clarity of coverage. So now they are inbuilt. Even the floater risk is inbuilt. Floater risk is typical in the sense, floater means stock at multiple locations under one sum insured. Or to simplify it with an example, I give you an example. Suppose my one factory is there, Bhilwara Shootings at Bhilwara. Bhilwara Shootings, this is textile mill. I want to insure it for 80 lakh rupees. So 80 lakh is the sum insured. But my products are sold across India, pan India. So I have taken the godowns at Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai. And in all those godowns, my stock almost of 1 crore rupees is there in each. So those stocks at multiple locations can also be insured in this one policy under one sum insured. 4 godowns, 4 crore stock, factory 80 lakh rupees, 4 crore 80 lakh, one policy with floater cover for a sum insured of 4 crore 80 lakh, that will be Bharat Sudham Suraksha. So there will be no additional premium to cover the floater risk. But the moment sum insured exceeds 5 crore, policy is Bharat Sudham structure. In that case, 10% extra premium will be charged. That means floater is free in Sukshmudam but not in Lagundam. So this is most important to understand that these are all inbuilt coverages. And now how to decide the sum insured? See, in every commercial institution there are 3 kinds of properties. And these 3 kinds are building, plant and machinery and furniture, fixtures and fittings. These are called properties. Building, plant and machinery and furniture, fixtures and fittings. They all will be insured on reinstatement value. And there could be 3 types of stocks also. For example, raw material stock and process and finished stock. So raw material is insurable at landed cost, stock and process is insurable at input cost, and finished stock is insurable at manufacturing cost. So the value of stock can differ. That will depend upon the nature of stock. But the value of properties will be set as reinstatement value. In addition, if there are any precious stones or curios or work of arts, that will be insured on the agri value basis. So the most important thing is, most precious possessions, which are building, plant and machinery and furniture. If there is any factory, say suppose, the maximum cost is involved in what? Plant and machinery and buildings and furniture fixtures. Material depends upon floating. Some are raw materials, some are stock in process, some are finished stocks, some are sold stocks. So when we say building, plant and machinery and furniture fixtures will be insured only on the reinstatement value, what does it mean? It means the insurance will be on the basis of the current reinstated or replaced value without deducting any depreciation. It's still not clear? I'll give you an example. Say for by textile mill, I purchased a machinery, textile machinery of 3 crore rupees 2 years ago. I purchased in 3 crore rupees 2 years ago. Today when I want to insure it, my insurance company asked me what is the current replacement value of this machinery. I asked the dealer, same model, same manufacturing, same make, what is the cost? He said 3 crore 80 lakh. Because the value has increased, demand has increased. So if I am insuring it today on 3 crore 80 lakh, that is my reinstatement value. Because if suppose the machinery is totally damaged, lost or burned or stolen, insurance company is ready to pay me the current replacement value, that is 3 crore 80 lakh, provided my sum insured is 3 crore 80 lakh. If my sum insured is 2 crore only, how the insurance company will pay me 3 crore 80 lakh? So here the important question is, sum insured must be the reinstatement value at which the property can be replaced today. This is without deducting any depreciation. And for goods it can be even the contract price. Contract price means the price at which you sold it. If suppose any goods or manufactured item is there which I have sold, but I have not delivered, it is damaged in my premises only. In that case, I will claim it from the insurance company, and the insurance company will pay me the contract price, means at what price I sold it. Now these two policies are also providing 4 additional coverages which have nothing to do with the fire. These are called as innovative coverages. Innovative in the sense these are not available even today in the standard fire and special peril policy, but they are available in both these policies, that is Sukshmuddam and Laghuddam Suraksha, and they are without any additional premium, and the risk coverage are typical. Money risk up to 50,000, documents such as deed, manuscript and drawing up to 50,000, computer program information and data up to 5 lakh rupees, personal effects of visitors and directors up to 3 lakh rupees, that is maximum 20 people per person, 15,000 rupees per person risk. So these 4 risks are innovative risks, and these are included in the fire policy without charging any additional premium, and both the policies are providing this coverage. Insured must know these additional benefits which are already available. One more benefit is available, that if the property insured is not for the full value, and if there is any loss or damage, surveyor is deducting the amount on account of underinsurance. That underinsurance can be waived up to 15%. This is also not there in the SFSP policy, but this is a provision in these 2 policies. And this is a great provision because this is saving the actual loss to value of the customer. None of you would like that your customer should go out of your kitty. None of you would like that your policyholder should suffer any loss. If there is any loss, that should not be due to your own mistake. So loss or damages are paid by the insurance company, but if there is an underinsurance, there will be deduction from the claim amount. That should not be there. Because on certain points you have to advise your customers. So there is a practical example which will explain to you. Suppose to a university, you have insured the building or furnished the pictures of plant and machineries of that, and for this I am insured of 5 crore. One fine morning there was fire and there was a loss of 1 crore rupees. So when the loss was intimated to the insurance company, immediately the surveyor was deputed who rushed to the spot to survey the loss. When he physically verified the loss, find that loss is of course of 1 crore, but the sum insured of the policy is not adequate. Policy is issued for 5 crore only, but the value of the insured property is 5 crore 50 lakh rupees. So there is an under insurance, and this under insurance is almost 10%, 9.09%. So if the 10% is deducted out of the loss of 1 crore rupee, that means insured is going to suffer the loss of 10 lakh rupees because of his no fault. He has paid the premium, he has got the policy, he has insured the risk, whatever you advised him. But you never advised on the point of the under insurance. Had there been over insurance, there was no loss to anyone. Some amount of premium was there, which was high, that's all. But if it is under insurance, maybe by some amount of premium, the loss could be in the lakhs of rupees or millions of rupees. 10 lakh is a pretty handsome amount. Why the insured will suffer? Because of your fault. So there should not be under insurance because the insured is going to lose another. Insurance company is not benefited. You are not benefited. This is a mistake, but it should not be deliberate. If you know the things, you can explain it. Because as far as this 10% under insurance is concerned, there is a provision in these two policies that there is a waiver up to 15%. In that case, the waiver can be given because the under insurance is only 10%. Nothing will be deducted and the claim will be settled in full. But in case the loss under insurance is more than 15%, then say another example. Here, say a 3-star hotel was insured under the Bharat Sushmudha Suraksha policy. Building structure was 3 crore, stock was for 1 crore. So policy 4 crore is given. Due to fire or due to flood or due to cyclone or due to earthquake, suppose there is a loss of 50 lakh rupees. So when the surveyor inspected the loss, he finds that the policy is not full for the full value. Because the value of the building is 3.5 crore, value of his stock is 1.5 crore. Policy should have been taken for 5 crore, but while the policy is for 4 crore only. If the value is 5 crore, you are taking the policy for 4 crore only. That means you have insured for 80% only. 20% is still uninsured. There is an under insurance. So 20% will be deducted from the 50 lakh rupees. Here, no waiver will come into picture. Why? Because this is more than 15%. If the under insurance is more than 15%, it will be presumed that the policy is not issued on the restatement value basis. Now all the clauses are applicable because whatever coverage is provided in the inbuilt policy, they are all useful or beneficial to the policyholders. Say for example, stock held in trust. This is inbuilt now. No additional payment is required. How useful it is. Say there are certain businesses like say motor vehicle garage or dry cleaner. So a dry cleaner has nothing of his own in his shop except the machinery or the furniture. Whatever goods is coming to his shop, that is clothes, curtains, drapers, blankets, everything belongs to the customers. If there is a fire in his shop, all the stocks will be of the customers. Since he is no owner of those clothes, he has no insurable interest. He cannot claim. Why the loss is in his shop only? But he cannot claim because he is not the owner of those clothes. But now, stock held in trust will provide the coverage for it. Stock held in trust because this is the business. So in trust he has to keep all these things in his shop only. If there is a loss, he is payable. It is payable. He is responsible for that. So it is covered now. Similarly, additions, alterations, or extensions, if there are any additions, alterations, or extensions during the policy period, that will be covered if it is intimated to the insurance company in time. And if there was value addition, in that case, some extra premium is also required. Say suppose the previous cost of the building was 3 crore, but now one more floor is constructed and the total value has become 4 crore. So not up to 4 crore. Maximum limit under this cover is 15%. So up to 15% additionals can be covered without any extra premium. But when the value is increased, on that increased value the premium will be charged. So the basic difference between the SPSU and SPLU is that sum insured limit is different. Sukshma Udyam is up to 5 crore and Laghu Udyam is up to from 5 crore to 50 crore. From means more than 5 crore. Compulsory excess is fixed, 5,000 for SPSU, 5% of the claim amount for SPLU, minimum 10,000 rupees on each claim. A startup expenses limit is different because 1 lakh it is in SPSU, while it is 5 lakh in SPLU. Floater cover is free only in SPSU, but this is chargeable in SPLU, and the minimum claim is different. Now, if this insured come to know at any date that his sum insured is not adequate, he can pay the extra premium and he can get it increased during the policy period also. Insurance company will pass an endorsement. It will not call the policy back. It will pass an endorsement and the additional amount will be covered. Simple thing. No compulsory excess can be changed because this sum insured is the maximum liability of the insurance company, and in both the policies this provision is already there. There is nothing wrong. As per the request of the insured, sum insured can be increased. Now the add-on covers are also available, new add-on covers. New add-on covers means standard fire policy, standard fire and special peril policy are having 12 perils and 15 add-on covers. And all those 15 add-on covers are available on additional premiums. They are still as it is. But in this policy, most of the add-on covers are already merged without any extra premium. Some new add-on covers have been filed and they are approved. And these add-on covers differs company to company. We have got 8 add-on covers today. We can sell them. I tell you the name of these add-on covers. Because there will be additional premium to get any or all add-on covers. For each add-on cover there is additional premium. But they are covering the risk which is not covered under the policy. For example, installment protection up to 50,000, claim preparation cost, loss of rent, additional expenses of rent for an alternate accommodation, then accidental damage cover, involuntary betterment, expenses for loss minimization, and escalation clause. This escalation clause, if opted by the customer on payment of a little amount, this will prevent him from the underinsurance, because if he has opted up to 25% of total sum insured, escalation clause is taken, even if the value is increased during the policy period or by any other reason, that will be covered and no average clause will be applied. So this is one of the best things West add-on covers. Now, whatever location the insured want to cover under the policy, that can be covered up to the sum insured of 5 crore without any cost. But the insured has to declare all locations as well as the stock as a single value reflecting the aggregate sum insured. And if there is any change in the locations of the go down, insured has to intimate the insurance company. Why? Because there are no charges. Only thing is value has to be declared. Location has to be declared. It is covered. And thus suits Vidham Suraksha without any additional fee. Now who can take this policy? Anyone who has the property. But situation can occur. Normally owners or entrepreneurs takes. If he has sold, buyer will take. If he has given on lease, lessor will take. If he has rented out, tenant will take. So tenant can have the insurance policy except for building, because he is not the owner of the building. But he can be the owner of his machinery, furniture, fixtures. So he can take the policy. Now the question is, for every proposal you are receiving for Sukshma Udyam or Laghu Udyam, you have to refer it to the underwriting department. Each proposal will be decided on case-to-case basis and the premium will be rated by the underwriter support office, because market is very volatile. Rate competition is there. Rate competition is on every aspect. So branches are not given any power to issue this policy. Branches are not given the premium calculator of this policy. This decision will be taken from the support office only. So this is all about the fire policy. If you have any questions, you can ask. Any doubts, you can ask. No doubts, because you are selling this policy since beginning. This is not a new policy. This came in 2021. More than 3 years are already there. You have understood the policy. You are already giving the policy. That is fine. So let us see. Let us check on your mail ID. Have you got the paper, test paper of the fire insurance? Just check and confirm to me.